welcome to Turtle Tracks Podcast. This is your host, Brian VanHooker, and I'm here with actor Frederick B. Owens, who played, he's done a whole bunch of roles, but as far as Ninja Turtles goes, he was Leatherhead, Traximus, and a Guardian, and a couple other characters on the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. Frederick, thank you so much for being here. Really excited to talk to you.
Thank you very much for having me. And Goldie Roger also.
Wait, I'm sorry?
I say I also do the voice of Goldie Roger from One Piece. That's actually one of my
yes,
favorite
I'm sorry.
characters.
Yes. I'm not,
Yes, indeed.
I'll admit I'm not familiar with One Piece, but I know that's
It's okay.
Enormous. I see it everywhere.
It's quite all right.
I guess, well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to our mutual friend Dave Fawcett, known as the TMNT Collector. He linked us together, and he's a great guy. I've had him on the show, so he was nice enough to connect us. So I wanted to shout him out. And I guess, to get started, I would love to hear about. Tell me when you first decided you wanted to become an actor.
Well, that actually happened by accident. I was doing productions when I was in high school, but that was only because one of the teachers liked my voice, and so she wanted me to be in one of the productions at the school. I was shopping once. This would have been 1980, when I was shopping at Macy's, and I was on the subway, and I stepped on a man's foot, and I said, "Excuse me," and he liked my voice, and he put me in a show. So once it got started, it snowballed from there.
Did you have this voice when you were a teenager?
Ever since I was 14.
Goodness.
It changed. Between 13 and 14 is when it changed. Yes.
It's such did you know what an incredible voice you had? Like, how did you become aware of it?
When I got in college and the girls started taking notice, well, that's when I realized it was different and everybody didn't have it. So, yeah, that's when I really started to appreciate it more.
Did, as you started acting more, did voice acting, was it on your radar to do voices in cartoons, or how did you get part of that?
Well, that's interesting how that came about, because I was always watching cartoons when I was growing up, and I was trying to imitate as many people as I could. But I never thought that I would be doing that. So this happened probably in 1986 or 87. I was trying to get into the voice acting industry, which is very, very tough to do, by the way.
It's very small. Yeah.
But there was a answering service on 72nd Street in Manhattan called Bells Are Ringing. And this was back during the time when you literally would call an answering service and you would get a human voice and not the automated thing that you get today. So I figured if I would go in and get a job there, an agent would have to call somebody, and maybe somebody would hear my voice. And so I got hired at Bells Are Ringing, and the first day on the job, I answered the phone, "Good afternoon, Bells Are Ringing," and the agent liked my voice and asked if I would come in for an audition, and she signed me the very next day. And so
that is some strategic planning there. That's amazing.
Well, when you're hustling, man, you got to know how.
It's smart. It's very smart.
Yeah, absolutely. And so she sent me out. These were for commercial auditions, and I booked my first 7 voiceovers.
Wow.
And I thought, dumb me, that it would just be this easy and this simple.
Sure.
But the first 7 that I booked was just to entice me and bring me into the business, and then I didn't book anything for 2 years.
Oh, goodness.
So that's how humbling this business really can be. Now, in terms of getting into the game, it wasn't until I got on Broadway and I was doing Smokey Joe's Cafe. This would have been 1997. And a director from 4Kids Productions came to the show and asked if I would be interested in coming in to read for a character or 2, as he put it. And so that's how I got into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because the first character that I read for was Leatherhead. And after that, then came Traximus. Uh, and anywhere you are in 4Kids Studio, if you're available, they'll bring you in to read for something. And that's how I got into all the other things. So if you were watching TV on Saturday morning, on what is called the Fox Box, it didn't matter what show was on. I probably had one or two voices in there somewhere.
It's like it was Yu-Gi-Oh, a couple other ones too.
Yes.
Yeah,
There was a lot of them, but I just don't remember the names of them because it was so long ago.
sure.
Um, but there was a lot there.
Was
Yeah.
Leatherhead the first character you voiced?
Yes. Mhm.
Oh, okay. So what was that mean the first time you do that? If you remember, I mean, it's been a little while, but if you do you remember the first time you did that? Like what the experience was like? I know a lot of voice actors talk about like, hey, it's great to go into work, in my pajamas and not having to do the makeup and everything. What was it like
Mhm.
for you?
Um, it was right in my wheelhouse because they hired me because of my voice. So when I read for the director, he said, "I just want you to introduce yourself." And I went, Frederick B. Owens. He go, "No, introduce yourself as the character." And I went, "Hello, allow me to introduce myself. I am Leatherhead." And that was it. We were off and running after that. He said, "That's exactly the voice that I want." I struggled with it a little bit because some of the names, because, he's supposed to be this highly intelligent.
Yeah,
So,
he's written very up. Yeah.
yeah, so there were a lot of times I'm like, how do you pronounce this? I never even seen this word. How do so we had an interpreter for the most part that was in the studio with us when I would run across words that I just didn't know how to pronounce. And there were a few of them.
Well, Leatherhead was also like very eloquent at times, but also he was like growling and yelling and tackling the turtles. Did you have to do that part of it as well?
Yes, indeed, I did.
Did
Yeah,
you
but I was
enjoy
fine
that?
with that because I could do
Okay.
that kind of stuff anyway.
Is that stuff fun to do? Is it like
Yeah, it is, because it takes you back to your childhood. I was an only boy with 10 girls, by the way.
goodness?
Um, yeah. So I had a lot of time to myself when there was no one to play with. So I was always under the house digging holes and I had little army men and stuff. So I was acting out stuff all the time. So when it came time to do vocal effects, oh, I was already in the pocket with that stuff, man. I've been doing it for years.
Is there
Yeah.
anything else about Leatherhead that stood out to you as a character? Because he got to go through quite a bit of an arc, like over the series.
Um, I just liked them as a character. They allowed me to be myself. They gave me plenty of space if I had an opinion about it, if it was something I wasn't comfortable with doing. Um, so he was the first and only character that I ever did where a producer or a director gave me the leeway to develop the character as the way I saw it.
I know when
And it
that
was
character
just
would show up, because he only showed up X number of times each season, but
indeed.
they used him very smartly. I felt like they never like he'd always pop up and be like, "Oh, great, Leatherhead's in this one." It was a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so when it came time to do Traximus, if you listen to them, the voices are pretty much the same, except Leatherhead was airy with a lot of air behind the voice, and Leatherhead had a little edge to his. But it's the same voice. And we didn't catch that until it was a little bit too late. So when people say Leatherhead and Traximus sound like the same, it is. But it's two different directors who wanted basically the same thing. They just didn't know that it would bump heads somewhere along the line,
sure.
if that makes sense.
Wait, so you said there's more airiness. What does that mean? I forget, if I don't have the words for it. Like,
Well, when I would do Leatherhead, it would be more here. My name is Leatherhead. It's not as much voice behind it. It's a lot airy, as opposed to Traximus. His is more commanding.
sure.
Yeah, but it's the same voice to me.
What was anything to say about Traximus? This, he was this Triceraton gladiator character. Anything that stood out about him?
What I wish I had known because I didn't know anything about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I started doing all of this stuff.
Sure.
I wish I had known a little bit more about it when I first started doing it, but I didn't.
Sure.
And I think that's how I kind of cheated Traximus in a way because I didn't even know what a Triceraton was.
Oh, sure. Right. Yeah.
And I mean, I know now, obviously, but I didn't know then. And no one was explaining anything to me. They would just put the script in front of you and say, let's go.
Did you see? I know a lot of times, like to develop a voice, people will say, "Hey, here's what the character looks like." They'll hand you, but you're using your own voice. Did you need? Did they give you any of that direction? Did you see pictures of the character?
No, I didn't see
Wow.
no, I didn't see Leatherhead. I didn't see Traximus.
You just said, "Hey, that's an alligator," and do your
They
own thing.
just said it was an yeah, alligator, and they said he was a rhino, and that was it. So I tried to be a little bit tougher with one than with the other, although I don't know how you can not be tough doing an alligator. Well, a crocodile is really what they called him.
Oh, forgive me. I
Yes, it's okay.
I occasionally know the difference, and then I forget which
Yeah.
one is which.
So, but it's and although it's all fun. It's a lot of fun. My son's got a big kick out of it, obviously, because
How old were they at the
they
time?
at that time they were in middle school.
Oh, so like they were ripe age for it. That's
Oh
great.
yeah. Well, they were the ones who were basically introducing me to all of this stuff because they knew when they found out I was doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they were disappointed because they thought I was going to be one of the turtles. But I had to tell them, no, I'm not going to be one of the turtles. This is the character that I'm doing. And it was like, well, why would you be a turtle? I'm like, why do you care? Why do you care? So
Did you ever? I mean, a few of your characters. So you also, okay, before we get to that, a few of your character, you were also one of the guardians, like the friends of the Utroms who were like their protectors. You were a foot tech ninja. Any memories from those at all that stand out?
none, zero.
There's
And
yeah,
I
sure.
was actually speaking to April O'Neil, the lady who plays April O'Neil.
Oh goodness, I'm trying to remember her name. I'll pull it up here. I hate when, yeah.
Renee. Renee, whatever her last name is.
Oh, the original
Uh,
one, Renee Jacobs.
yes, Renee
Oh yeah,
Jacobs.
sure.
Yeah. We had conversation last year in Niagara Falls and we were talking about it. And I was explaining to her because when I was in the studio, it was just me, myself, and I. So
Hmm.
when people ask me, because I had scenes with the Turtles, and people would say, how is it working in the studio? Never worked in the studio with them. Never met them once.
It's funny how much the business had changed in that time because the original show never recorded separately. In fact, if what like the guy who played Donatello was a guy named uh, uh, Barry Gordon, and
Hmm.
he he was the head of the Screen Actors Guild at the time. So if he was out of town, his role got recast. Somebody else played Donatello that episode.
Really?
Yeah, they don't. Nope, you're not here. We're gonna get somebody else. So that was so at the time it was all recorded live together as a radio play. 10 years later,
Hmm.
when you're doing it, that's almost unheard of. People doing it together.
Yeah. Yeah. I was never in the studio with anyone at
Mhm.
any time. At any time.
Wow.
So
Did you ever, a handful of your characters? I mean, Traximus and Leatherhead especially, but have been made into action figures. Have you ever seen them? Did you have any thoughts about them?
oh yeah. As a matter of fact, I have a few of them myself.
Oh, cool.
And Dave has a lot of them, quite a few of them,
Oh
and he
goodness, yeah.
just makes
He's
sure that I sign everything. Uh, which I don't mind doing.
sure.
If someone
He's a good
brings
guy.
it to me, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I have a couple of them.
That Traximus figure, I could never get him to stand upright because they did that gimmicky string, like the thing where he would fall apart. And I was like, this is a
Hmm.
great looking toy, but he was never like. But that Leatherhead was great too. Was especially great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and now you eventually started doing like cons, various comic cons and things like that. Were you surprised people, walking up to you about Leatherhead and things like that?
I had no idea. Dave had told me about it like 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't even know anything existed where you could go and meet people and people would know who you are, well, know who your character is. And we did the first one we did, I think, was the Hamilton Comic Con here in Hamilton. And I had no idea how popular these things were, how committed collectors are.
Oh yeah.
Um, Man, it was like next level to me. And so I've met some of the most amazing people as a result of this that and I didn't even know any of that was going to be happening. So I thank Dave every time I see him, for hipping me to this family. And it is a family. You get to meet people. You pretty much know them when you see them, and you see them at all of the Comic Cons that you go to.
Sure.
They're always there. Yeah. So, man, like this past weekend, there were several people who came up to me and, I've been wanting to meet you for the longest, and I have XYZ, and I want you to sign it for me. And next thing you know, okay, so now you can get away from the infatuation part of meeting someone who does voice acting. Now you know I'm just a regular person, just like everybody else. Now we can be friends.
Sure.
And that's the way I like to approach it. That's the way I meet people. I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm better than they are. And I have to bring them down a notch sometimes because they try to make you feel that way sometimes. And
Mm.
I'm not comfortable with that. I just want, I'm no different than anybody else. I think I'm a pretty good guy. When I meet people, I do give them quality time. I don't try to brush people off because we don't, we may not have anything in common. Um, so when people meet me, they tend to be a little bit surprised at how welcoming I
Sure.
am. But I would much rather sit and have a conversation with you than to just put my name on a piece of paper, which I don't know, it means nothing. It's just a
That
piece of
moment, that little, I mean, I haven't met you at a con, but I've met a number of these people at cons and things like that. And like that little 2 minutes means, that conversation means way more to me than any autograph or anything like
I
that. Like
I
that's
totally
why you're there.
I totally agree.
Like the
Yeah.
autograph to me was like the times I've done it, it was like, well, I gotta do something. So you know what I mean? Like that was like the excuse to have the
Mhm.
conversation in a way.
And I find that most of the people that I've met, they are some of the most fascinating people.
Mm,
So just me sitting here because I did a couple of voices for a couple of characters, and then you meet them and you find out that they have these great collections. They know their characters. They know everything about the show. They know everybody who's ever put a voice to anything. They speak the language. So I'm really just learning
mm.
a lot that I didn't know back when I was doing this stuff and when I was active. I'm like, man, this is like the coolest thing in the world. They're different, and I kind of like people who are different. Um, and
Well,
I mean, all of them that I've met so far, you know,
I know,
we,
I know your
if,
Leatherhead in particular meant a lot to people because although the character had been adapted into the previous cartoon, it was radically changed into a different kind of character. It was a
mhm,
villain, and I mean, I like that character too. It's fun, but like your character was something very different in the comic books, and to see that version of the character in a cartoon on a consistent basis was really something special for a lot of fans.
no, say that again. No, I didn't
So
hear that.
like Leatherhead in the comic books was a very different kind of character. And the
Okay.
first time it was adapted, he was made into this kind of Louisiana villain. He's a lot of fun. Jim Cummings actually did him. I don't know if you've ever worked with him.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so yeah, he did him and he was wonderful. But
Yes.
when you came along and did Leatherhead, it was very faithful to the original comic book, which in a way a lot of fans really it was important to a lot of fans.
Well, I hear that, but
Yeah.
it doesn't register because I didn't know there was a comic book version of Leatherhead anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, so like I said, there are a lot of things that I know now that I wish I had known when I was doing the show. I could have brought a little bit more to the character,
Hmm.
the realness to the character, but nobody educated me on anything.
What was the most common thing that you've signed in these cons for Ninja Turtle stuff?
The most common thing?
Like, yeah. Is there like a comic books, or is it that action figure? What's been the most thing you've signed the
I
most?
don't know the name of the card, but it's a God, I wish I knew the name of it. It's the most difficult card to sign. And
Like
I
shiny a little bit.
yes.
I know the
And
one, the Fleer cards. Yeah,
okay, is exactly what it is.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It is the most difficult card to sign.
Sure.
And I'm always trying to learn and figure out new ways to do it and do it with confidence, because what I hate to do when I sign it for someone, if it doesn't look right to me, it probably don't look right to them.
Sure.
And I always feel bad when they walk away. I don't feel like I've given them what they came for. Although they're extremely happy about it, I don't feel good. Well, I got some uh, markers now that are proper for
Mm.
me to be able to sign those cards with. And so I'm waiting for someone to pull out one of those cards. Now I'm going to bust that move on him. We'll pull it. Bam.
Been waiting for it.
I've been waiting for you. Yeah. So that's it on that.
Well, whoever's listening, next time, bring those Fleer cards. He's ready.
Yes, indeed. I'm ready for you.
I love that. I think I'm all set here. I would love to. I usually ask people if who their favorite turtle is. Do you have one? I don't know.
Raphael.
Oh, why is that? How come
Because he was
Raphael?
the first one that I met.
Oh, cool. Thanks, reason as any.
Yeah. Was the first one that I met. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, this is a real pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. This is really great.
Oh, you're more than welcome at any time. Anytime. Just let
Thank
me
you. That means
know.
a lot.
I'll be here for you.
You take care. Thank you.
All right, I will do.
Bye-bye.
Chain reaction, living underground. It's a action. It's a shell of a town. Turtles counted off. Live by the code of the martial arts. Never fight unless someone else starts. Always stick together no matter what. If all else fails, then it's time to keep up. There's no one better.
Watch out for Shredder.
They're like no others. Turtles. Teenage Brothers.